Conan O'Brien here for another edition of Behind the Nonsense, where we talk about the nonsense. We're going to talk now about a piece that was very popular that we did for a while. I think almost every time we went to Comic-Con, I believe.
I think every year
we went to Comic-Con, we would do auditions for whatever the new big movie was, and the word was out that there would be a new Han Solo.
Yep. A young Han Solo.
A young Han Solo, and the word was out for who might get this role, and we claimed that we got a hold of the audition tapes for who was going up for the roles, and you can actually see famous celebrities audition. And so let's show this, and then we'll talk about it.
Name, please. Bill Hader. Okay, so he's young, right? Okay. I want to do the Kessel Run in 16 parsecs, Mom.
Can you try that?
No notes! No notes!
Dan?
Hey, where are you? I'm Han Solo. How do you say it? Han Solo. Hey, Han Solo. No, it's just like he's on his way to do errands or whatever. I'm also Batman. If you guys want, I could go deeper.
No, we're good, thank you.
Down here. Okay.
Name, please.
Melissa McCarthy. You never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsnips.
It's parsecs.
Parsnips is funnier. Nobody knows what a parsec is. Parsnips, they're going to be like, what? Parsnips.
Have you seen Star Wars?
I've seen a good portion of one of them. With the small wizard boy in the school in the hills.
Here's the young Tauntaun. Young Tauntaun. This is a skateboard. You know what I could do is young Jabba the Hutt. Young Jabba the Hutt's like,
Name, please.
Really? Jodie Foster. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. Now get off of my plane. That's from a different Harrison Ford, but it doesn't matter.
Name?
I'm sorry.
Falcon, cruising along here. Woo, you almost hit a star. Never tell me the odds. Great kid. Don't get cocky.
Name, please.
Kumail Nanjiani from TV's Franklin and Bash. So this is like a big spoiler, like when Han Solo was young, was he Pakistani? Because like, I'm Pakistani. I will say if you don't cast me in this, you're racist. Never tell me the odds. How's that? I'm really good at like just never hearing the odds. Like,
The odds are...
no, never tell me the odds, dude.
Name?
Never tell me the odds.
No.
Never tell me the odds.
No.
Like this way or...
No.
Man, what the you want me to do? Tell me what you want. Never tell me the odds?
No. Name, please.
I'm Jeff Goldblum. But before we film anything, can I just ask? This is for young Han Solo. Well, let's give it a shot, as the kids say. You never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. If I get the part, I'll research, believe you me, what all that means, so I can give it a little more credibility. I'll know what I'm talking about here. I'm just kind of reading it. I can't say I'm all that familiar with the entire universe or phraseology. Crazy thing is, it's true. The Force, the Jedi, all of it. It's all true. Hey, I like that. I think I get. You see what I gave you there? Something in the. Well, I don't know how to describe it. You got it or you didn't.
Okay, young Chewbacca is
Hey, guys, hey, when I hit puberty, you better watch out.
Chewbacca doesn't talk like
No!
Never tell me the odds.
Okay, Han Solo doesn't use a lightsaber.
My version of him does. He uses a lightsaber all the time.
Saber.
What?
Lightsaber.
You get out. Red kid, don't be cocky.
No.
You suck. You suck. This whole shit show sucks. How about this?
Wow, it's such a great concept. I mean, it's so simple. Basically, we ask all our friends to help us out, and then they're all auditioning for this part, and then it's just so much fun.
They're bad at it. They're very bad at it.
They're very bad at
He's a
it.
good actor.
Right.
Yeah.
Very successful.
But I love watching them all. It's so much fun to watch them all play with it, you
It's
know?
also one of the rare chances for the writers to work with a celebrity. We sometimes do, but
We're told not to approach them.
yes,
generally.
it's really fun.
They really
to-
are just trapped in a room with
Yes.
two writers, and there's nowhere to go.
You got Jodie Foster,
Yes.
one of the most iconic, and she's at the behest
Yes.
of two nerds.
She's in a conference room with paper on the wall.
Yeah.
But just to hear a producer come up and like on some of the other ones, like Jesse, Levi, Dan, Don Cheadle's ready to go.
Yeah. And also they are almost, I mean, you can see right there, they're just having fun in their game and they're screwing around, and it's basically we're giving them a jungle gym and they're playing on it. Everyone's playing on it in a different way, but so exciting at Comic-Con, standing on that stage in the dark with all those crazy fans there, watching all of these massive celebrities pretend to be Han Solo.
And it was a long slog. Like we would start doing this months before.
I was going to say,
look at the grid.
Levi, I think, pitched that 3 or 4 months in advance after they announced the young Han Solo movie. So he just thought ahead, basically, because we had to put 2 or 3 together a month.
With some, we're so ready for it. Like Jodie Foster pitching it, we're so apologetic. So we were like, first of all, we shouldn't be asking you to do this, but would you mind doing? And we have a costume, and then of course she was so game for everything, but so deadpan. We'd pitched it all, and we're like, oh, did we fuck up? And she's like, yeah, no, it's all great. I'll try all that. And then she was up for it all. Put on the costume. It's so much fun.
And Bill Hader and Melissa McCarthy just we're basically sitting there improvising with them, kind of, maybe not so. But they were just so funny, just so hilariously
So
funny.
generous.
Awesome. We did a bunch of them. I mean, I don't know.
We did a bunch of auditions.
Wolverine was the first one.
Yeah, we realized at a certain point it doesn't have to be a real story.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait for them to, but we can just say they're looking for a new
Hermione.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, they were all based on real movies that were coming.
They were all real ones. And then another thing that came up was like 50 Cent felt like a long shot. And they were like, we don't even know if he does comedy. And then he was so playful.
That bit where the security's with him.
well, that's my favorite
for the audition.
story is that he had his real bodyguard with him, but he didn't want that guy to be on camera because that's a real security threat.
That's how the idea came up. It was just on the day. We're like, hey, could we put your bodyguard? And he was like, no. And we thought he didn't like the idea. He's like, no, I just can't show my guy. If you can put someone in there, though, I love the idea.
It'd be funny if he left with the actor bodyguard who was no good at being a bodyguard.
Right. He's trained in stage combat.
And 50 Cent's attacked, and this guy's using bamboo, stage combat bamboo to try and keep him back.
His bodyguard's been our sound guy for 8
That's
seasons.
right.
Yeah.
Very good.
They're both happy.
Never dropped a note. Well, that was fun. That was fun to look at. That's nice. That's all I got, man.